Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Brian Coffey and today I'm going to make a homemade granola. This is a great recipe to have, and if you have all the ingredients in your pantry, you can make it anytime you want. So let's get started. Okay, so here are our ingredients, also called our mise en place. We've got rolled oats, we've got coconut oil, we've got shredded coconut, get raisins, and you could also use craisins. In this recipe I use dried apricots, salt, chopped walnuts, cinnamon, honey, and of course maple syrup. The first thing you want to do when you get started is you want to melt the honey, the maple syrup, and the coconut oil. The first thing we're going to do is put our coconut oil in the pan. Alright, we want to turn the pan on and melt the coconut oil. To that, we're going to add our honey. About a quarter of a cup. And our maple syrup. Okay, that's done. When that starts to boil like that, I shut it off. Then I'm going to take my stainless steel bowl. I'm going to add my oats. I'm going to add my coconut, my walnuts, my cinnamon, and a little bit of salt. Mix that all in. And then I pour in my liquid, which again is the warm coconut oil, along with the honey and the maple syrup blended together. And I mix that all up. This is just a basic granola recipe, and then you can customize it the way you want to make it your own. So now I'm going to take that mix and I'm going to put it on a baking sheet, a rimmed baking sheet, so it doesn't fall out. And I've lined the inside of the baking sheet with parchment paper. Then I'm going to spread it out. And kind of as I spread it out, I'm kind of pat it down a little bit. This is going to help it clump, so you know when you have a good granola, you get little clumps of granola. I just want a single layer, just like that. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it in a preheated oven for 15 minutes. I'm going to check it and give it a turn, and then give it another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, well, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's pull our granola out of the oven. It's halfway through its baking process, and let's see how it looks. Okay, that looks good for about halfway. Just going to give it a little shake. Not too much movement, but you can see some of the edges are a little brown. So when I put it back in, I'm also going to turn it around the other way. And at this point, I'm just going to press it down with a spatula. This is going to help it clump, because I like having clumps of granola in my cereal. Remember, the pan is hot, and I'm going to turn it around so it's facing the other direction when it goes back in. So here we go. And we're going to give it another 10 to 12 minutes. Let's take it out and see how it looks. Ah, yes. That's nice and golden brown. That's the way you want it to look. Alright, now we're going to take my spatula and see how it's just perfectly brown. I'm going to kind of move it to the center. See how it's starting to plump. I'm going to press that down a little bit. Then I'm going to take it pick it up by the corners of the parchment paper, which are not hot. Pour it into my pan. Then I'm going to take my apricots and my raisins and mix those into the warm mixture. Now, one thing I do, which is optional, is I like to add a little brown sugar at this point. Just a little bit. Just kind of mix that in. That helps with those clumps. There it is. That is my homemade granola. And I like to store it in a glass jar. I think it tastes better. So I use a mason jar. I hope you enjoy it.